Hey guys, I'm back and I'm actually filming a video. I'm pretty excited about it. Making time for housework and laundry and groceries and cooking today because we just got back from Puerto Rico and it was an amazing trip. Eventful as well, as most of you know. We were there for the earthquakes and we were in the city where they were all happening and it was pretty scary, but praise the Lord. So many people were praying for us and we were praying and he protected us and kept us safe while we were there. He's kept all of our families safe and brought us home and we are back to normal life and I could not be happier. We left on the 27th and first we went to Florida, visited family for like 4 days. Then we flew out to Puerto Rico, stayed there for 6. The third day we were there was the first earthquake, and to that point it was the worst earthquake they had had. It was the 5.8. We were woken to it around 6:30 in the morning and the boys slept right through it. It was very scary. My first thought was the kids are moving the bed. Then my second thought was no, I'm having a vertigo spell. And then I thought, no, the earthquakes that have been happening for the last 2 weeks, this is one. And I just grabbed on Hector's hand and we were like frozen. We did not get up, we just sat there. And his aunt came in screaming and the kids slept through that. We got up, we went to the living room and we made coffee and hung out the rest of the morning, waited for the kids to wake up and told them. They were very surprised. And then it was over and we went about our day. The next day was the really strong one, the 6.4, the one that made houses fall and cracked roads and caused, they called for a tsunami warning, so we evacuated. That one was 6.4, which after all this happening to us, we have researched quite a bit about earthquakes and tsunamis, and the kids were very interested to know more about it. So we found out that on the Richter scale, when you go from one number to the next, it's like a 30 times more energy increase. So it was a 5.8 the first day, then it went up to a 6.4 the next day. And that's not a whole number because obviously the 0.8 to 0.4, but still that's at least 10 times stronger. And I could tell while it was happening. When we were awoken at 4:30 in the morning on that next day to the 6.4, it was like, this is significantly stronger. And we could feel, I could hear, stuff was falling, people were screaming outside, people were screaming inside, things were shattering in the house. And this time we were like, we need to get up, you know, so we grabbed the kids and we like went under the door frame. And I thought we should stay there, but Hector was like, we need to get outside. So we ran outside and the power was out. It turned off. So it's kind of funny. Later we talked about it and it turns out we had the same experience. As soon as we came outside, the first thing I saw were all the stars. I was like, wow, the stars are so brilliant, because it was pitch black out there. And Hector later told me he had the same thing happen to him. So I thought that was funny. So we're outside. We're all like just gathering together. I'm hearing people yelling. I see my kids starting to like get caught up in the moment of everyone else's overly, not exaggerated. I mean, they had a reason to be emotional, but they were very expressive. And so my kids started to like, you know, get really uneasy. And I just remember stopping and like cradling them, huddling up with them and just reminding them that God is with us. He is with us and we just need to trust him and pray, even in this difficult circumstance that we don't know what's gonna happen, you know? At this point, no one was jumping in their cars and leaving. Only one guy left and we were just all standing outside. Then we're like, let's go inside, you know? And let's go back to bed and just see what happens. And before we were even like past the living room, I heard, and I said, another one's coming. And we like ran outside and then it started shaking again. And after that, everyone in the neighborhood jumped in their cars and you see people jetting. And this neighborhood is next to the coast, like right next to the coast. And there was a tsunami warning issued. Don't know how big it would have been, but I do know that there's 4 criteria for a tsunami that is destructive. And this earthquake had 2, maybe 3 out of those 4 criteria. So that's, you know, again, a mystery. Who knows what would have happened. But we learned that they travel up to 500 miles per hour. You're not supposed to try to outrun them. You're supposed to just move to higher ground, and we were trying to outrun it. And we learned that they have to be under 70 kilometers of depth if it's in the ocean, and this one was 60 kilometers, so that's something else. And the earthquake should be at least 6.5 to cause severe damage, and this was 6.4, but some Google searches said it was 6.7, so I don't know how much it was. So craziness. So we got in the car, rushed out, went up, you know, to the mountains, and about 2 to 3 miles inland to our friend's mother's house. And we stayed there for like 4 hours while everything calmed down. On the way, it was not bumper to bumper. We were moving the whole time, but we did fly into the other, like the oncoming traffic lane. We went there and we were going that way just to like get faster, you know, get out faster. The boys were so tired, I was so tired, but we could not sleep in the car. And around 7:30, the sun was up. We went outside and another earthquake hit. It was like 6.0, and that was wild because we were outdoors and it was daylight. To that point, we had only been indoors and in the dark. So it was bizarre, like so weird. And I saw all the birds just at the same time flying out of all the trees, and then they didn't just like fly upward, they flew, and then they would go like this, zoom, 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 like all these zigzag patterns from all these birds everywhere. It was so weird, so weird. Then nothing else happened. We felt tiny tremors like throughout the morning, but that was another big one, you know. I missed my girl so much. Oh, I missed her too long. We, oh my goodness, you look so bad on camera, girl. It's okay. She's really cuter than that. So anyway, we, stayed there, waited for the traffic and everybody going back home to die down. And our plans were to go to San Juan that day anyway. So instead of waiting, actually, we had plans to go on a cave tour that day. Cueva Ventana, which is window cave. It's this cave, you hike for a mile, and at the end of it is this big like opening that overlooks the city. So obviously we canceled them. And so we were gonna go to that and then make our way down to San Juan that day. So instead we canceled the caves and went to San Juan right away. We went back to the house, which was a little scary because we didn't know if another earthquake would hit, and we were going right back to the coast. So we moved quick. We got there, got our stuff, said goodbye to the family. Everybody's crying because what a goodbye. We were gonna say goodbye that day anyway, but now this added so much more emotion. So we were crying, saying goodbye, prayed together and left. And we made our way an hour and a half, other side of the island, total other side of the island. So we felt really safe. We went to the beach and did the tide pool exploring and just watched the waves, and it was amazing. I collected shells. It was so fun. Wonderful, wonderful time. So that day we were obviously exhausted, so we took a nap and it kind of threw off our plans, but we still made the best of it. We got to do everything we set out to do. We just had no electricity the rest of the trip. So when it was finally time to leave, we went back to Florida, and we were gonna stay another 3-4 days, but we were pretty like done and ready to get home, you know? So we were gonna leave Monday, which was yesterday, and make our way back to Tennessee by Wednesday. We decided to leave Saturday instead. So we spent Friday in Florida with family, just a few more visits, and then got in the car Saturday morning and we drove straight through. We've never done that with the kids, and they wanted to, so we did. They were like, let's just get home, let's not stop at a hotel, let's just go. And we're like, if you guys are down for that, we're down for that. We could do it. If we're all working together, all gonna have good attitudes, all gonna like push through and make this work, let's do it. So they were like, yes. So we went through, and we didn't get home till 1:40 in the morning, which in Florida time felt like 2:40. but we had been in Puerto Rico for a whole week. So it felt like 3:40 and me and Hector were alternating. And I don't know why, like God gave me supernatural energy that day. I was not sleepy in the car. I was so alert. I was so alert. I was able to drive for Hector every time he got tired. I was like, just pull over, I'll take over. So that was great. And we got home, slept, and it was great to wake up at home the next day. And now we've just been catching up. So we're all sick. I feel really bad. I'm dressed today because I went somewhere, but if not, I'd be in my jammy jams. My fridge is stocked, my bathrooms are clean, my laundry's washed. Now I'm gonna dust and do the floors, but probably tomorrow because I really don't feel well. Not quite sure where I left off. My mom came upstairs, Hector came home for lunch, got caught up doing some other things, so I wanted to come back and finish, but I don't remember where I left off. So I think I was already home in my story. Went grocery shopping, cleaned. I feel sick today. Back to all my little, you know, potions and concoctions, trying to get well. I feel pretty run down. Can't remember if there was something else I wanted to tell you about. My story about this trip. It was great. It was wonderful. So glad we went. I saw and did fantastic, beautiful, wonderful things. The trip to Puerto Rico was saturated with nature and history and nature study and science, and I was on cloud 9 in the rainforest and on the tide pool and on the mountains and listening to the beautiful cookies and seeing all the plant life and different birds and the history with the fort and Morro. Amazing. We had such a good time there. So there was a lot of good fun things that came out of this trip. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe and follow my channel. Have a great day and God bless you all.